Well, this episode is about to be a little bit creepy. But we're going to start with something that isn't creepy, and that is Elise. Now, we know when it came to the tour of Before the 90 Days, it ended with Elise talking about how she was going to move into Australia to pursue a relationship with Josh for the long term. So much as moving there despite the fact that she may be cut off from her inheritance. Well, here's the thing. When it comes to couples nowadays on social media, especially couples in the public eye, that one of the most easiest ways to identify when two people have now finally gone separate ways is usually by one simple thing, and that is whether or not they are following each other. Now, I want you to take this with a pinch of salt because you see, the thing that I found interesting about Elise's page is that when I went into it, I typed in Josh's name. Now, when I typed in Josh's name, she, as I can see, is following Josh. Because obviously this is the Josh that she was on the show with. But for some very interesting reason, when you click on who he is following, you don't seem to come across Elise. And this is where things got very interesting. Okay? So, the question is, why is it Elise is following him, but he is not following her back? So, this is where we can speculate. It's either one, maybe they are together, and Elise is just unaware of the fact that Josh has unfollowed her because he's done it quietly, slyly, because maybe he wants to pursue other relationships while with her, which I think is probably less unlikely if that happened. So really and truly tells me that if anything, he has finally decided to part ways with Elise, doesn't want to deal with her anymore, but Elise, on the other hand, isn't willing to let go of him just that easily. And that's why maybe she's hoping that maybe he's going to change his mind. Or unless, of course, she just forgot to unfollow him back. Either way, like I said before, take this one with a pinch of salt because, well, we need to wait for a little bit more tea to come out, okay? And to be fair, I would say that if we see Elise back on the show without Josh, that would tell us exactly everything that we need to know. But in the meantime, we're going to move on to the next piece of tea, and this is where things get rather creepy. Now, some of you may or may not have seen it, but on my YouTube shorts, I have uploaded a video of Michal. Michal was a part of the most recent season of Before the 90 Days with Laura and Burkan. Now, have a listen to what Michal has to say here.
Wouldn't it be completely ridiculous to go on a date with a guy you may have seen on reality TV? Hi, I'm Michal. You may have seen me on the show 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. That season is over. So, where do we go from here? Here are some ideas. If you're a genuinely curious and kind woman who doesn't think a video call with a complete stranger from reality TV sounds entirely insane, I'd like to meet you. My only goal is a real conversation. Believe it or not, I'm 46, introverted, and still willing to do this. Also, I love to dance. You know a little bit about who I am. Now I'd like to learn a little bit about who you are. There's a link in the description. And if this isn't for you, but you know someone, don't be shy. Send it her way.
Don't be shy. Send her my way. Now, why is this creepy? Well, now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of this application form that he speaks of. Now, remember, folks, if you're looking to date someone who's been on television and is famous from 90 Day Fiance, here I am. My name is Michal. Oh, goodness gracious me. But let's dive into this form. So, went on the website itself. Patilla took a few screenshots of the website, and these are the things that are pretty much detailed from him. He says, just one conversation. I'm Michal, 48 years of age, live in Vancouver, no kids, tend to be progressive, open-minded, and I value curiosity, kindness, and those with humility to admit they're wrong. If any of that matters to you, good, it matters to me too. Oh, the question is, ladies, has this caught your eyes? Or maybe, Mandem, has this caught your eye? Maybe you're going to try and slide in his DM and try and convince him to maybe swing your way. You never know. Either way, continues by saying a few things worth knowing up front. Just a few questions. A little writing, and if your answers are sincere and interesting, I'll reach out to schedule a 15 minutes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, not a 5, not a 10, but a 15-minute freaking video call. Aren't you so lucky? This is open to single women. Sorry, Amanda. Only for the women. But it didn't clarify whether the woman needs to be biologically or not. You never know. This is open to single women in the United States, ages between 34 and 45. But you're 46 though, so why can you not have a woman that is older than him or his age? Yeah, men like that are very suspect. Yes. Either way though, we continue. If it's not you, no hard feelings. Thank you for checking in. This should take about 5 to 10 minutes. If you give the questions real answers, I'll read everyone. So remember, ladies, if you decide to apply for your audition to be a part of his whatever the hell this stupidity is, just so you know, it would only take you not 5 but nearly 10 minutes if you really put in full effort to explain yourself. Now in the next screenshot is something particular here, as you can see, also continues by letting us know again that he's from 90 Day Fiance as a supporting cast member, and he goes, I'll do first conversations as a 15-minute video call on Google Zoom. Are you open to that? So the question is, so the answer is it yes or is it no? Give me your thoughts. Then also says he wants to know your first name. Now the name part is very, very key, and we'll get to that one later on. But he wants to know your name, obviously your age, the city you're from, and also you can only be from the United States of America. Oh, darn it. Either way though. And also he needs to know what your time zone is. And then also moving on to the next one goes, what's something you've changed your mind about in the last year or two? So he wants to really get deep with you folks. He really wants to understand you lovely women. He wants to understand what things have you changed your mind and what things have you not. Maybe he's trying to suss out if you're somebody that is indecisive or not. Maybe if you're somebody that decides to change their mind every now and then and expose that maybe you're someone that isn't committed to a certain cause. Who knows? But that's a very interesting question. What's a value you won't compromise on in a partner? Now that is a very good question, to be fair. Question is, you let me know in the comments, what is the value that you would not compromise on? Let us know, ladies and also gentlemen. What made you fill this out instead of just closing the window? I just wanted to be on a TV show, so I thought I'd use it to get on the TV shows and get paid and get some clout. Anything else you'd like to share? This one is optional. The rest of them is a must. But that one is an optional, okay? Okay? Now also on the last one, this is where the one I would say is the most creepiest one out of them all. This is where things get very, very interesting. He also says photo, optional. Paste a link to a photo of yourself, Instagram/Facebook and other. This is yours. Also, human validation. What is 6 times 7? Human validation. Really? Okay. Anyway, send me a copy of your responses. So as you can see, this is the questions that were in particular. But to be honest with you, I don't think the photo part should be optional. But at the same time, this whole thing is creepy. So let me not say anything. Let me not give the guy any ideas, any shape or form. But the thing that became quite interesting though was that Laura saw this post uploaded onto 90 Day Fiance electoral programming and decided to respond. And this is what Laura actually responded by saying. She put down, it just had to be, there we go, boom, bam. She said, should he man up and use his actual name and not a nickname? I mean, he is asking for lots of information to judge each woman on. That's a very good point. So you want to know certain things, but yet we don't even know your full name. We need to know everything. We need to know the extent of certain things. Either way, continues by saying he's asking for pics and social media accounts. He should be transparent about his name at the very least. Give the girls a chance to do their own research too, which to be fair does make you wonder. If you were to find out his actual name and if you were to do research, would you find out things about him that are not good? Now I will say this though. Upon doing some research, I was able to find out his actual name, but I'm not going to disclose that because I don't want to be the one that doxes him. You know what I'm saying? If someone else does it before me, then I'll happily be like, this is his name, but I won't be the first person to do it. Either way though, he found out his real name, looked him up, and to be fair, there wasn't anything about him that was bad. There was no current record that I could find anyway on this side. The only thing that I could find is something that we already know, and that is that he's simply jobless. So it is quite interesting on how he's holding these auditions for the women to slide into his life and have these auditions, but Does he understand that he's going to try and bring a woman into his life that he can't even really provide for? Not that I'm saying that he should be providing for her completely. What I'm saying is at the end of the day, he has no financial backing in his own life. So why the hell are you looking for a woman? If you are a man, even if you're a woman and right now you're not really in a good place financially, your main priority should be trying to find a job, a career or something, rather than going online and saying, hey guys, I'm from 90 Day Fiance and I am doing an audition for you to be my partner. Please fill in my application. It only take you up to 5 to 10 minutes and you will be granted with a 15-minute video call with myself. And if you impress me in that video call, well then guess what? You may just win a date with me in person. Yeah. This one is nothing but a calamity as always. But I want to read what it is said here in the description. It does say that a man wanting to link a woman's social media without providing his real name is a real big red flag, a huge red flag. From my previous or original post, guys, Michael wants to audition women to have a suitable match. He made his own website where you fill out the questionnaire with all your information and pick. If he selects you, you get a 15-minute video call and sees how it goes, as we already know. To be fair, he's repeating everything that I said here. But we got Clayton. Clayton is somebody who is from 90 Fiance, who was a part of it before, and he says he seems to be vastly overestimating the level of celebrity associated with being on a, I don't know what that word says, I'm not gonna lie to you, character or a supporting character, shall I say, on one of the spin-off versions of the show. Spin-off versions, just to be clear. I mean, listen, ladies and gentlemen, do you think that this is something that is absolutely creepy and absolutely inappropriate? Or do you think that he means no harm by doing this auditioning? If you ask me personally, it is nothing but creepy, nothing but just weird, nothing but strange. Now, I will say this though, sometimes in life, if you look a certain type of way, you can get away with a certain type of behavior. So I'm going to say this. You see, if he had been a better looking man, there's some women who would have been like, I don't care, if he wants me, he can have me. You see, ladies, I'm going to tell you this now, whether the man is good looking or not, whether he's your type or not, this is still a massive red flag because there's a lot of people that will allow this behavior to slide. Don't let this behavior ever slide, because this is how you end up in a continuous, reoccurring, repetitive, toxic relationships with people that are simply red flags, but you just kept on going to them because, well, they just please you aesthetically, even though mentally you saw they were just messed up. Either way, do what you will with this information, my lovely, lovely audience here. But tonight is the night where 90 Day Fiance premieres its new season. And this season is looking wacka doo-doo. I'm excited. The question is, are you excited? And if you're not, don't worry, because you will be excited after you see my review of that first episode tomorrow. Because why wouldn't you now? Now, as always, please hype the video. If you're new, subscribe, like the video, comment down below, and have a great Sunday. Thank you so much for your time.